Alright, problem number 3. Problem number 3 is an interesting one. 9 apes weigh as much as 4 bears. 4 bears weigh as much as 15 cougars. And 10 cougars weigh as much as 27 deer. How many deer weigh the same as 4 apes? Alright. So, let's take a look. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Oh gosh. Let's see. Alright. So, let's take a look at this. My hint to you would be to first of all assign some variables. Okay? So, what I would do is say that the letter A for apes, it's kind of handy that they have apes starting with A, bears starting with B, cougars starting with C, and deer starting with D. It makes it kind of handy just to define the variables as A, B, C, and D. So let's define the variable A as the weight of an ape. Okay? And you can also define B as the weight of the bear, and C as the weight of the cougar, and D as the weight of the deer. Okay, so once you have your variables defined, then you can convert these statements to equations. Okay, so basically this is saying 9 times the weight of an ape is as much as or equal to the weight of 4 bears. Okay, so you can write this as 9A equals 4B. So 9 times the weight of an ape is equal to 4 times the weight of a bear. Okay, and then once you have some equations set up, take a look at them and try to combine them in some way. Alright, so that's my hint. Probably more of a hint than I should give you, but start with that. Alright, and here's the solution. So let's continue defining these variables, just like I said. So let's say B is the weight of a bear, B-E-A-R. We'll say C is the weight of a cougar, and D is the weight of the deer. Okay? So, now that we have our variables defined, we can write all these statements can be converted into equations. So, let's start with the first statement. It says that 9 apes, so let's say 9 times A is equal to the weight of 4 bears, okay, weighs as much as 4 bears, so 4B. Okay, 9A equals 4B. That's just the same thing as this statement up here. 9 times the weight of an ape is equal to 4 times the weight of a bear. Okay? So let's list out the rest of them. We have 8 bears weigh as much as 15 cougars. So we have 8B is equal to 15C. And then our last statement says that 10 cougars weigh as much as 27 deer. So we can say 10C equals 27D. Alright. So, those are all our statements. And we're trying to figure out the weight of a deer, how many deer in terms of the weight of an ape. Okay? So our deer is here. So we know that a deer, 27 deer, is equal to 10 cougars. And we know that 9 apes weighs as much as 4 bears. And we can relate the bears and the cougars by this statement, that 8 bears is equal to 15 cougars. So we ought to be able to figure out the weight of how many deer, the weight of a deer in terms of apes. Okay? So what we need to do is some substitution. We want eventually this C, we want to substitute in a couple times here and get it to be an A. So let's first of all do a substitution here. We have 9 apes is equal to 4 bears. So we can actually multiply both those sides by 2. I'm going to write 2 times and times 2. So I can multiply both sides of the equation by 2 and it'll still be equal, right? So 18 apes is equal to 8 bears. Okay, it's basically saying the same thing. We just multiplied both sides times 2. Okay, but that's convenient because then you can see we have 8 bears here. So instead of 8 bears, we know 8 bears is equal to 18 apes. So we can just substitute. We can just replace 8 bears with 18 apes. So let's do that. 18 apes is equal to 15 cougars. Alright? Now over here we have 10 cougars. Now we would like to be able to do another substitution and replace this 10 cougars with apes, but we need to get this in terms of 10 cougars instead of 15 cougars. But that's not too bad, because if I multiply, well, you can see that if I were to take 15 times 2/3, I'd get 10, right? So 1/3 of 15 is 5, and then if I multiply it times 2, I get 10. So if I multiply this times 2/3, I'll get 10, right? So if I multiply both sides by 2/3 in order to maintain the equality here, then I can this will become 10 cougars, and I'll be able to substitute it right in here. All right. So what is 10 cougars equal to in terms of the weight of an ape? So we can take 18 times 2/3. So if we divide 18 by 3, we get 6, and multiply that by 2, we get 12. So 12 apes is equal to 10 cougars. And again, we can just substitute, right? Because now we have that 10 cougars is 12 apes. So instead of 10 cougars, we can write 12 apes. So we can say 12 apes is equal to 27 deer. Okay? And the question asks, how many deer weigh the same as 4 apes, right? So we would like to get this to be 4 apes, and then 4 apes will be equal to some number of deer. So let's just divide both sides by 3, and then we'll get 4 apes, right? And in order to maintain the equality, we have to do the same thing to both sides. So doing that, I'm just going to write this over here. We get 4 apes is equal to 27 divided by 3, which is 9. 9 deer. Alright? So our answer is that, I'm running out of space here, but I can scroll down. So our answer is that, I'll just write it here, 4 apes weigh as much as 9 deer. So our answer is 9.